everything started up, I meant to prepare Slay the Princess before we started up, but some stuff got in my way. So, I am going to make sure that is all configured for the show before I actually switch over to the proper layout for it. And we'll get to find out together if it will actually behave or not. Oh, perfect. It already starts in windowed and everything. Great. Let me go over to the thing real quick. And then capture this. There we go. I do not really know what to expect from this, aside from the stuff that's in like the marketing copy and the fact that some of my friends really like it and some of them don't. So it could be. I have no idea what we're in for tonight, though I hope that anyone who joins will enjoy it, I suppose, or at least find it interesting. Am I coming through okay? Well, actually, I guess no one's here. So I just have to look at my levels and see that I look okay on here. I actually might move this a little bit closer to me. There we go. Okay. This is a love story. I suppose I believe you. Let's take a look at subtitle language, English, accessibility. Ooh. That's interesting. That's a very, especially compared to like this as being a very, stylistically in character thing. The accessibility menu being so Spartan is, I mean, I guess you need it to be high contrast so people can actually read it in case they're having issues. Curious. I mean, this is probably all fine. Let's begin a new game, shall we? The Hero and the Princess, Chapter 1.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I admittedly did not realize that this game, hello, Shia. I did not realize this game apparently has voice acting, at least for a narrator, so I might be shutting the fuck up for quite a bit of this stream. Crazy. I was kind of sitting here like, I don't know if I'm really feeling like doing the full, the One Saturn show version of this game. So you know what? I'm okay with that. It's gonna be a chill Monday.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I don't remember agreeing to that. Oh my god. This parallax effect is very funny. I like it. I don't know that... I wonder if this will be used for something later, or if it's just like a weird thing they decided to do, because it's funny to look at. I don't think it's actually capturing my mouse on the audio, because I don't have OBS allowed to do that normally, but I am moving my mouse around the screen, which is causing the parallaxing. This is a ton of options to start with. It's gonna silently continue. I don't
You make
actually
your way
care
up
what the
the
narrator
short
has to
path
tell
to the
me,
cabin.
honestly.
You'll find the princess within.
The narrator seems like kind of a dweebus.
A warning before you go any further.
Yes?
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Okay.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Is this my guy? Man, alright.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Do I actually want to take the blade? No. I don't.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Okay, I get it. You're
Her
manufacturing
voice
consent
softly carries up the stairs.
for stabbing a girl. I get it.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
I wonder if these are just like people, like the voices are just people who are close to the game, or if they're actual, professional VAs. Or because I feel like it could go either way.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
I'm gonna be the silent weirdo, I think.
Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Ushiromi, a battler, simply can't do it.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
Thog don't care.
No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding. They're large and heavy, far too solid.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for...
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
That
She
seems...
offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
Oh, I see. So, like, accomplished amateur, like, in all likelihood. Makes sense. That's about the register it's coming in at. It's not bad or anything. Just curious. I always kind of there's something about a game with like or like anything with not quite professional acting in it, where it's like it's not like obviously like recorded in someone's basement with a desktop mic or whatever the fuck, but like it's not quite professional grade. Where she's like, I can feel it, the fingerprints of human hands making the video game. I like it.
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
They locked me in here. Well, they're not gonna let me out.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
Hi, Bray Bray. Welcome to the stream. I just started this about 10 minutes ago. It seems neat so far. I like the presentation a lot, especially.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
And hello again, Marchajovia.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Well, alright. I mean, like, it is an effective strategy, given that I did not actually bring any implements. So good for you, I guess. Oh, thank you, Bray Bray. I'm glad. I'm looking forward to doing more group reads with that with the others whenever the second episode 2 comes out, whenever that is. And I'll probably, they're still around. They're still around. Ben and Sarah Notes and all them still do out some other streams, but this is probably gonna be solo. Ben might show up later. I'm not sure. But I think that Sarah Notes are going to be relatively busy for the next week or so. So it's going to do some solo stuff like this.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
I'm not gonna... Look, if she's biting her own arm off, I don't think I'm stabbing her. I don't think there's anything I can do to her that is going to cause her any kind of consternation.
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
I don't like anything. I'm gonna save the princess.
Fine.
I'm
Against your
certain I will
better
regret
judgment,
this.
You place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place.
A winning smile. Oh, my claws! I didn't know. I got like lizard hands. What's up with that?
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit.
So, are you gonna finish that? Oh, I just noticed that the little cursor I have is different now. It's actually holding the knife and it's covered in blood. That's a funny touch. It's very, actually, let me see if I can make it a little bigger for myself. I don't appear to, can I? No. Never mind.
She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground.
You good, girl?
How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world.
Well, why the hell not?
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
I don't remember agreeing to this, Buster.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Buddy, I just got here 15 minutes ago. I'm not too concerned about the alive part.
The blade. Move the blade.
I don't wanna.
As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
Absolutely, Bray Bray. You take it easy.
We both know this isn't you.
I like, here, by the way, my hand extending forward in this static position for the last several frames. It's making me feel like I turned into Doom Guy a little bit. Like I got like a little weapon view model jutting out at all times.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Hey, what's up? We killing women in here?
I'm trying to avoid it. This strange man whose voice is ringing in my ears really wants me to kill women, but I'm remaining steadfast.
Alright,
Oh,
cool.
no.
Can
I'm
you
so
share your
sorry.
screen?
I can do that. Let me do that real quick.
That way I can help you avoid murder.
We'll see about that. I feel like I am being forced into murder in some capacity or another, but I'm going to try to.
I mean, she's already down a hand, so things aren't looking great.
Well, she did that to herself. To be fair,
Wow.
to me, she gnawed her own hand off.
And you seem to have some kind of claw hand?
Yeah, I got like a crypt keeper thing going on over here. I'm not really sure what my deal is. Like maybe I'm half lizard or something. Who knows?
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone.
That's right, Shia. It's not too late to celebrate International Women's Day on Mario Day.
Whatever.
Well, Princess
She
Peach
sinks
is
the
a woman,
blade
and this is
into
a
your
princess,
chest
so you know.
Again,
Yeah.
again, and again, and you
If I was
feel
smarter-
every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
If I was smarter, I would have billed this stream as being like a fan fiction about the time when Mario killed Princess Peach or got killed by Princess Peach or whatever the fuck happens. But I'm not very smart. That's the thing.
I'm sorry.
She's not very good at this part. It doesn't seem. Either that, or she does enjoy making me suffer. I could believe either.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks.
Oh, rivulets. That's a good word.
It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Well, there we go.
Damn, short stream.
All right, there you go. See you later, everyone.
Yeah, crazy. Bye, Ben.
You're
It's nice
on
having
a
you.
path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin.
Oh, we're back here again.
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
However, it said chapter 2, so I wonder if even if I pick the same options, if it will be different.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time.
Fuck
If he doesn't remember
you!
what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Oh, I see.
Ah.
There's a new voice.
You're playing as Harry Dubois.
I say Umineko Disco Elysium, I see.
Beloved. Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess.
Other one, dude, you haven't missed too much. We just did the chapter 1, which is the first attempt to slay the princess, in which I did not take the knife or make really any effort to kill the princess. Resisted all efforts to make me kill the princess, and then allowed the princess to kill me.
And apparently
so,
we're some kind of lizard person.
yeah, I have fucked up gnarled crypt keeper hands for some reason.
Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
This guy's new, though. This voice of the smitten. He
Yeah.
just showed up on this
We'll
one.
see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
You've all been there, pal.
You know, I think he's got a point. Now, that's not to say that I agree with his methodology or his specific delusions, however.
No, I mean, fighting for love is a good thing to do in general, but maybe not in this specific situation. But maybe in this specific situation. It's still unclear.
Am I being arrested for wanting a little kissy? It's democracy made manifest.
Are you here to kiss my limp penis?
I'm really sad I took that off the soundboard. Wait, in order to make room for the most recent memorial soundbite, but I do still have that sound file around. Very good Twitch chat. I don't really need to know the specifics of why the causal time loop's happening here, so I'm just gonna proceed.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
A warning before you go any
My
further.
feeling is that if I do something that resists having a bunch of extra exposition, that's something that someone can play on their own time.
Mm-hmm.
She will lie, she will
Actually,
cheat,
I will
and she will
see
do everything in her power to stop you
real
from slaying
quick
her.
if I can have
Don't
this
believe a word
not,
she says.
if I can have this capture cursor, and it will actually show on the Twitch stream. I hope it is. If not, I'm sorry, because it appears to be doing a thing where there are behaviors that make the cursor change.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
I will say this guy does kind of sound like a tool, but you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think we've already
I
been
respect
over
the
this.
the
Pretty sure
devotion
he
to
dislikes
love.
the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Okay.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
So I'm gonna be doing some Final Fantasy grinding in the midst of this.
The
Okay.
interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
This is not a cabin.
I'll say the decor is different than last time too, because I think you didn't come in until after we already through this part. But the interior of this was just a normal cabin last time. we came
Yeah.
through.
Yeah, that seems,
The blade is your implement.
different.
You'll need it if you want to do this right.
A mirror.
Let's look at the mirror this
Walk up to the
time.
wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
There's a mirror, you prick.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of
Can
grime.
this game afford to have reflections?
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
And look, the cabin, it's gotten really shitty over here.
Yeah.
But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
This is only increasing my suspicion that we're playing some sort of dinosaur lizard man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to take the blade, because I believe in being obstinate.
The door.
Why
to
should
the
I do what the
basement
narrative
creaks open,
says?
revealing an intricate.
They gave me the
stairwell.
knife for free last time. I don't know what they do it this
Gold-trimmed
time.
carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already.
Alright, calm down, Pepe Le Pew.
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. Yes, for
Oh, sorry.
everyone's
Didn't mean to
sake,
skip that.
you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
Hey, lady. This is it might be your first time meeting me, but I need to let you know that I'm terrible at remembering the consequences of my actions, and did not bring a knife with me again this time.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing, and she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, maybe you should try it, narrator.
Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before. That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
I don't believe that's true.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world, but everything reset. Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever, especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible.
What if I want to leave an incomprehensible trail of devastation? God.
You know, everyone's doing a multiverse story these days.
You know what? We're just gonna rescue the princess.
Rescue?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Did you forget that she's a world-ending monstrosity? And even if you wanted to unleash her onto the world, despite the complete moral disaster that would be, you'd have to get her out of those chains. Good luck with that. Don't you see how dainty her hands are? You'll be able to slip her out with ease.
Christ, dude, calm down.
No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. If her hand could just slip out of the chains, why hasn't she done it already? Because we've yet to present her with her freedom.
Mindset.
I'm not sure I follow.
Ah.
Would you rather believe me, a passionate heart guided by love and my own good nature? Or would you rather believe the devil on your shoulder who tells you what you can and cannot do?
I'm constantly getting whiplash from Voice of the Smitten, because on one hand he sucks ass, but on the other hand I am taken by his Don Quixote-esque charms.
I think I'd rather believe in facts. Ah, so you're one of those empiricists. One of us has to be. Then let me show you a brand new truth. Narrator, we courageously step
Narrator?
forward and free our beloved from her bindings. No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't.
The problem is I have an immediate favorite among the voices, and it's the guy who sucks but also dudes rock.
I
would.
know.
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That
I see, so it
shouldn't
is
have
also
worked.
the Disco Elysium internal
be
monologue
damned.
thing of just being the same
You're
guy.
doomed.
Got a pretty good range.
I
Yeah.
can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
And this is gonna be the part where she's like, cool, thanks, and then like brutally murders us for no particular reason.
I'm
Yes.
free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved.
I don't care about them.
Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
I'm not saying this one. That's a little presumptuous.
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
Suspicious about the decision to capitalize the pronoun as though we are speaking to the Christian God.
Yes, that's what
I
it seems we are
don't
doing.
actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
I want to kill everybody.
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I think this is correct.
That sounds perfect.
I'm correct as
Princess
in
takes
what I
your hand,
want, what I
the
think I would
last
answer
hopes of the
personally.
entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
God, the problem is he's just the best. I don't care if he's stupid and also a pig.
I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it.
The thing is, Shy, I don't really care about the day. I'm just here. I didn't ask to be here. I was mandated to be here, but on account of having spent like $20 on the video game or whatever. So like, I don't know. I'm just fuck around, see what happens.
I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you.
I'm just
Doesn't have to be
imagining
so
narrator
happy about
as
this.
that one balding dude from Scrubs who's like throwing rocks at happy couples on Valentine's Day. Why should they get to be happy?
And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you will
He really
ever
is
know.
like episode 1 or episode 2 Battler, in that he's just constantly saying things that make him lose me.
Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
So true, bestie.
Oh, just try to open the door.
Let me, I like asking,
You control the narrative.
Well, I
See if
don't
you
know.
can. Oh,
Do
okay.
you think I can?
Of course she can. You believe in her, right? Nobody is leaving this basement.
Yeah, I think you've got this.
Okay, let me try.
The princess tries the handle, and lock clicks, and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me?
You simply just have to believe in the power of women to do whatever they want, including crimes.
I told you she could do it. You and the princess make your way upstairs, and the blade, that's right, there's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late.
I don't want to do that.
Nah, I'm good.
You're
I'm not
enjoying
doing
this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you. You know, if her walking out that door is really going to end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone. That's not how this works. Yes, what he said. That's not how this works. Obviously, we have to leave with her. It's our happy ending.
I don't think we have to do anything. I'm ignoring them.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside.
Ah, look, the vignetting
Oh.
around here is getting kind of a red tinge.
Our
Oh, look,
happy
the world
ending
didn't
at
end.
last.
Yeah.
Why did you lie?
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything
Oh.
go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
Calm down.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
You're not helping with Saurian accusations, Smitten. You're really obsessed with your feathers.
Oh.
Uh,
Well, goodbye, I guess.
You don't get the chance to make that jacket. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
Yeah, sure, dude. We'll find her somewhere in this infinite black void of muscle fiber.
And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Let's see. Let's just go
I'm
in the
begging
mirror.
you, don't do this.
Let's see what we are.
Fuck off, loser. I want to look at the mirror. You approach the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
The voices feel small, distant as you approached. We got a first-time chatter. It's a fucking spam-er.
Let's get rid of that.
Goodbye.
You're not one of the voices we need to listen to.
I do think it's interesting that this narration text, aside from being in a different font, is also completely unvoiced.
Mm-hmm.
Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. Oh fuck, I'm some sort of beast. Some sort of beefed. I'm like kinda I got lots of meat back here. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. You are at the cabin. Yeah, sure. I like
Nice.
the flame of arms that's happening back there.
It's a nice open air aesthetic.
Yeah.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. Nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
Shy, I don't believe in asking questions.
Bring me more perspectives so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Absolutely, brother. I say that, but I might. I just like if I see it, if a question I'm actually am like interested in asking. Which is not to say like the prompts aren't like interesting. I'm just like I don't know. I don't know that I want to know this or that particularly. Like, aren't you scared they'll find a way to kill you? I don't know. I don't really need to know. Let me look at these, because this is... I don't necessarily want to go, okay, make me forget, so I do want to see what the rest of these...
How much will I forget? That's fine. Let's get some borders.
Oh, you know what? That's good. I like that.
Everything, until we meet again.
Okay. Very, very non-specific. That's all right. Now, it seems like doing this is the purpose of what we're supposed to be doing. So actually, you know what? Just make me forget.
Mm-hmm.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Well,
Oh, we're back to chapter 1.
oh, yeah, we
You're
forgot.
on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
You can skip previously seen dialogue by hitting tab on your keyboard or, Oh, R1. I was like, R/I? R/? What? R1. However, I'm playing on keyboard. And so this is, seems to be just back to the thing. I'm just gonna leave.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
No.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
I have a very
playing-
contemptuous relationship with the narrator.
The narrator is like, it's like playing with a very obstinate, like a DM playing with a very obstinate player.
Unfortunately, the DM is giving me all stick and no carrot, so I have a somewhat rebellious relationship with the narrator, and in fact do sometimes pick things just because I know it will piss them off.
Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin.
Ah, railroading.
How convenient. Everything's back on track again.
It's almost
Maybe
like
the world can still
our
be saved
existence
after all.
is defined in context of going to this cabin. I am, however, going to continue being
Really
obstinate.
keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Yeah, but if it's that important, he would just make me do it, like he did that one time.
Your silence is deafening. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
I'm just gonna be a little
There's
pissant. Why
always a
not?
choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
Oh, he stopped the music to tell me that.
No.
And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path. And a
There's
cabin.
always a lighthouse.
And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on? But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You've doomed us all.
it's just a
You know
game.
that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death.
They do got me there. I did say earlier that I'm deliberately being obstinate because I care about irritating the narrator.
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Chapter 2, The Stranger.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Sky looks different in this one. You notice that?
Looks like you're near a wall or some kind of holographic projection.
I get the sense that I'm maybe not going to be allowed to wander around aimlessly in this one. It does seem to be a giant wall.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Yeah, I heard you the first time.
Yeah, ask about the walls.
Oh, I will ask about the walls.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Oh, that's consistent at least.
I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience. He might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day.
I like the way you think.
If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet. And you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
want to stay in the woods forever. That seems boring. I am, however, gonna lie.
You know I can tell
course
when
you
you're
are.
lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you.
I'm a little scammed.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie. She will cheat. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind. The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork
that's
of many
interesting.
cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense.
Oh, the parallax
that's
effect
cool.
here. Oh, that's good. Okay, I'm glad. At the beginning, I was like, I wonder if they use this for anything interesting, and the answer is yes, they do. That's a great effect.
The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
I just don't believe in
The blade is your implement.
violence.
If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway?
Yeah, that's correct.
No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with.
Look, hero, if I die, I die.
I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise? You can't just say that. Not when everything here is so wrong.
Yeah, there's
Listen
nothing
to me.
straightforward about this.
My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your
I think if Harry
which is to
Dubois
slay
was
the
here
princess
instead
and
of
through
our
that action,
like
save the
strange,
entire world.
monstrous lizard creature, he would have just like stabbed himself repeatedly.
Oh yeah, no, Harry
that'd be it.
Dubois would
If you're
not
going to
have made it to
slay
the
her,
cabin.
You cannot let fear creep into
He'd
your
get
heart.
drunk in the woods.
You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves? Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm.
Me in high school.
How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard.
Now, for a guy named Voice of the Contrarian, he's taking this surprisingly well.
Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
Well, I'm not
Take a
going
look
to.
at that mirror.
You think I should look at the mirror?
I think you should look at the mirror.
Oh, you know what? There's a dialogue here.
Ooh.
We should look at ourselves. Wouldn't that be fun? You won't be looking at yourself because there isn't a mirror. There's the table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely
Oh,
a
there's
mirror.
definitely a mirror, yep.
There isn't.
So the narrator and our
You insisting
visual
it isn't
senses
there
are not
just makes
always
me
in
want to look at
line.
it even more. Exactly.
Yes, are you handsome?
Why would I lie about something?
Oh, I know
so
I'm
meaningless?
handsome.
What
I've
good
seen
would
my,
a mirror
my
even do?
lizardy,
You waste
blobbish
time cleaning
form.
yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
But you don't remember your lizard form, remember? You lost your memory.
That's true. But I remember, the player. Even if my insert does not remember.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. You know that
Yeah, the
taking
instant
mirror away from us
any
isn't
kind
going
of
to change
meta narrative
things.
comes into
We'll
play,
find it again,
there is
then
no
we'll see
upward
whatever it is
limit
that
on the
you
amount
don't
of
want
meta
us to
narrative
see.
that is acceptable.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Well, I'm not going to take the blade because I don't believe in violence.
And you have your claws if you really need to fight.
That's
something.
true. I got some scratchers.
Staircases all
Look, you don't want to take the
built
blade
from
down those stairs. You might trip.
materials. Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get. Your head throbbing with the effort of making
That's a great
sense of
question,
this
other
place.
one, dude, but it would require
None
me
of the
picking up the
stairs even
knife on
seem to
purpose,
go
and I just
up,
don't feel like
let
it.
alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing.
Okay, H.P. Lovecraft.
If the princess lives here, slaying those
Oh,
probably
an
doing her a
Italian! Oh
favour.
my god, I'm going insane!
Me when I go down into the basement and see the Italian princess.
Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Ah, much like Umineko Shayapov.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
That's a different voice.
No,
Ah.
no, thank you. Oh, don't be such a baby.
Maybe we should have grabbed that knife.
I don't
No,
want
it's
to
fine.
do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die.
I mean, yeah, hero, that's the name of the game.
We don't even have a weapon.
That's right.
But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
Hey, I like the way this guy thinks. Ah. I obviously I have to go with my soul and take the difficult path of leftism.
You step to the left. The path is cruel against your
No.
feet, the impact of each step sending pulsing vibrations up your legs,
Those
until
are
there's
bad
nothing
stairs.
left in them to feel.
Yeah, no, not very
The
good
air around
stairs.
you grows cold the further you progress. At first a barely noticeable drop, quickly evolving into a numbing cold.
Yeah, other one, dude. They've been doing that a bit when talking about the narrator in ways that make me feel not at all suspicious.
Your toes feel like blocks of ice, your breaths puff out in clouds of condensed vapor. You shudder against it as you continue down the stairway, losing yourself in the bone-deep chill.
I mean, I did pick the path of leftism. This is actually pretty
Well,
true
there's
to
no.
life.
Well, these stairs don't even have a railing on them. That's not very safe.
No. I don't think the princess
You
murdering
slowly
cabin
lose
was
sense of yourself
formulated
the
for OSHA
further you go.
compliances.
Time disappears.
Well, that's just poor
You can
craftsmanship.
feel yourself begin to untether. Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten.
Oh, they're putting me in the garden from LB6. Crazy.
Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Are you just
The
going to
Twilight Zone.
stand there?
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass, we remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you.
I'm getting the sense
Let's
that
talk to her for a bit.
it
try and get
seems
our
like maybe
bearings.
she is
She seems
reflecting whatever our
horrible.
additional voices for a given chapter so far.
I think that's what the idea is. Yeah.
Oh, there's no proceed forward. She doesn't know her name, I don't think. So I'll be honest.
And do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster?
Is this the same voice actress as the thing, or does she have different voice actresses depending on the route?
I think it's the same
wonder?
voice actress. I think she's just using a different tone.
I say her delivery feels very different to me.
Oh!
Everything you've heard about me is true, and I'm going to lay waste to everything, starting with you.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. Where
Oh,
there
yeah,
was
only two
once
VAs
just
in the
one of
game.
her,
They both have
there's
great
now
range.
another.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened?
Oh, and look, her face appears different. So that's the one. That's
Yeah.
from our earlier clear. That's fun.
Does it matter? Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality.
Well, the words of wisdom you
But
gave me in
what's
the
done
other
is done,
reality were
isn't it?
kill her, and so that's not happening.
Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here, and you need to do it now.
No.
Ooh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
I like the way you think. Oh, that's funny. These are both the
good.
same option.
There's 3 options you're picking. Because you also selected the option to retrieve the blade. You've got to pick that one.
I will. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna do all 3. Why not?
Wait, that's not right. Go on. Take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread,
Ah, there's
confident
that
stride.
parallax effect.
It's really good.
You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to perish alone. Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess.
I like this winning smile up here.
Mm-hmm.
But this... We can't... Do you not
You've
have
even freaked out the voice of the
witty to say?
contrarian.
I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all
It all fades away.
falls apart. I think he's gone.
Look at the capital He
We were
again.
never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and others, they just don't fit. They just don't fit. We can feel them moving around and
Yeah.
they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable.
You good there, girlie?
Did you do this? Did we
What's
do this?
wrong with your
Can you
face?
pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences.
Do
It's a
they have
little late for
consequences
regret,
though, or has
isn't
this
it?
already been the case since before we started?
Please.
Well, you can certainly try. The only thing anyone asks of you is your best.
I'll do my best. Oh, and there she goes, back into the arms void.
Yeah, slipped away.
I'll never know if she hears your reply. She's gone. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? but it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yeah, don't look at it. I don't like that thing.
I'm not going to see. I don't know that I'm going to see either of them again. That's okay.
I think you'll see the voice of the hero.
Well, I don't know if it's the same voice of the hero every time.
I don't like that silence.
I wonder if one time you're going to be a person.
Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it.
No, still a slime man. Ooh.
You've grown. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You are at the cabin.
Hey, I think I beefed it again.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before.
Hey lady, I think I'm making a big mess of everything, but I hope that's okay. We can eat pizza rolls.
Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Okay, this time for sure.
This time for sure. What does it feel like for you?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
I can empathize with that, being like a amorphous mass of arms without eyes or a mouth, glowing for some sense of identity.
Ask for a straight answer.
I don't need a straight answer.
I'm sick of all this metaphor bullshit. Just give me some answers.
You can buy the game your damn self. I don't need a straight answer for anything.
Speak like a person.
I only need gay answers. Oh, I hadn't noticed that. I can't choose the things that I used to choose that I chose before. I hadn't noticed that. I actually want to ask a lot of these.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
Sure.
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy isn't seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Ah, I see. Shia clarifies in chat, if I had tried to just repeat the exact same shit I'd done before, the narrator would have grayed the option out.
Huh. These
So
kinds of things are always fascinating to me because I'm always just like, how do you like map this? You know?
Well, because I know, like, you can get through this without, like, you do a very small selection of what is ultimately, like, the possibility space of the game to finish it, quote-unquote, right? And I do think it's interesting to sort of go, like, well, the point of the game is in exploring, like, the different options that are either, like, the ones that you want to see or the ones that feel honest to you or whatever. I think that's a neat premise.
It is, but I mean, like in programming wise, like, how do you know, like, how do you keep track of all this when you're writing the script for the game, when you're programming in your options, like the dialogue trees, the branches and stuff? It reminds me of how many voice lines are in Hades.
Oh, the answer for that, at least for this, is, like, you make a flag for the choices that you pick and just go, like... And, like, I think the difficulty is then, is, like, if there's custom shit for, like, oh, I can't pick this option, like, you have to do a bunch of, like, oh, you can't pick this because you already picked it before, but, like, you would just, like, you save it to save data. Like, the fact that you already picked that.
It's just like... I want to see the diagram
I will long
Of how
for
how all
your
these,
return,
like, the, you
but
know,
it will give me time
the
to
dialogue
reflect on what I
tree
am.
Mm-hmm.
that is, you know,
We
that
will
went
meet
into this
again.
game.
I wonder how many chapters there are, because so far I've done chapter 1 and chapter 2 twice.
You're on a path in the woods.
Let's just kill her
and
this
you're
time.
here to slay her.
I don't wanna...
Don't mention it. It's all part
Yeah,
of the
let's just
job.
listen to what the narrator does. Let's do everything the narrator says this time.
You make
I
your
don't
way
wanna
up
do
the short
that.
path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further.
I'm going to explore the bounds of possibility available to me as much as possible in ways that don't involve doing violence to the friend that I have.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Just because, like, I personally don't have a lot of interest in, like, the version of whatever series of events is our weird monster freak showing up to be like, Bing Bong, I'm here to chop your body off.
The interior of the cabin is almost
Shia,
entirely bare.
I don't need an answer.
The
I
air
guess
is
all
stale
all
and
is I need
musty,
is
and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust.
The
only furniture of
in the
note
event
is a plain wooden table.
that
Perched on that table
I reach the
is a
point at which is the
pristine
end, and
blade.
it's not obvious to me that you will let me know if that happens.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I'll take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place.
Oh, okay.
The air
In that case, I'll
feels
do that
heavy
next
and
time I get to the
damp.
hands
A
later.
hint of her voice carries up the stairs.
We've heard that one before.
Who's there?
Oh, that's a
That's
different
different.
one. Yes, because I picked up the knife this time.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come
By
on
picking up
down.
the knife, you've made her an enemy.
You walk down the stairs.
My
eyes
expectation
with
of
the
violence has
princess.
been projected on her,
There's a
whereas
heavy
last
chain around her
time
wrist,
my
binding
innocence
her to the
projected
far
on her
wall of the
instead.
basement.
Mm-hmm.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
No.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
I agree.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
I wonder what sidekick
Thank
you'll get
you.
at this time.
It could
Against
be
your
anyone,
better
or anything.
judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face.
It could be the voice of fucking Don Quixote again, just like, I would let her kill me. That's a great question, Shia. Unless we get the novel where she has cat ears and she's like, what's up, my real name is Schrodinger. I feel like this isn't a real visual novel, and thus instead is a video game.
Yeah, correct.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about
They mentioned
the blade on the
Schrodinger's
floor.
cat in Of the Devil,
Going to
right?
need it.
Yeah, there's a whole bit about it.
Yeah. Okay. I
Because
can't remember
we had
if
we had the
actually got that or
conversation
not.
where we're like, where you were like, that's how we know that Phoenix Wright isn't a visual novel, because it doesn't
Yes,
ever
that's
bring
right.
up Schrodinger's cat, that we remember anyway.
Mhm.
VNDB is just a collection of video games that mention Schrodinger's cat. That's probably true. They probably talk about Schrodinger's cat and fucking Full Metal Demon Mermuscle or something.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
I don't really care if she's gonna end the world. Because the thing is, like, I'm not too concerned about the end of the world thing, if only because, like, to a certain extent, with the framing device as established, I don't know that it's particularly important that that's happening, or that it hasn't already happened. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
You seem so excited about it.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
I mean, yeah, but, like, she's clearly good with it. I'll ask some
She
questions about her.
hesitates before answering.
Oh, she got that ketamine stare going on all of a sudden.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
No, she's a
Note
princess,
the
so it
lack
would
of
be
detail.
Your Highness.
You can't trust her.
The fact that she would claim to address her as Your Majesty is suspicious. That's for queens, lady.
You know, other one, dude, I think you're onto something. I feel like Claire Stanfield and Lad Russo would both really enjoy this video game.
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Likely because the circumstances of her imprisonment don't matter beyond the framing device of the video game. And I don't think I'm going to get any satisfying answers to any of these questions.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Hey, that's the name of the show.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
The same line as last time, but delivered in a completely different way.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see them.
You've heard that one before, though.
Did you look for the key last time?
I mean, I don't think... I mean, I guess I haven't looked to see if there is actually... Because, like, all the interfacing is done through this side, so I haven't seen if there's actually a point-and-click system, but I guess
Well, I mean,
there
like,
could be.
did you go upstairs last time?
We tried. And
Okay.
the door locked, as is the formula, apparently. So we weren't able to actually get upstairs.
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
It is a wooden door. You could probably just knock it
You're
down.
here to slay the princess, and you won't leave
It
until the
seems like
task
my
is done.
limitation is that if the narrator says something is true for me, then it's true. And if the narrator says I can't open the door, then I can't. But I think the princess doesn't have to listen to the narrator. In fact, I don't know if the princess actually hears the narrator or not.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to.
I don't believe in
Easier
easy.
for whom? Easier for everyone.
We've heard
I
this
heard the
before.
door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the
Interesting
massive,
difference. This is the same
unyielding
CG, but she doesn't have any blood on her mouth because she hasn't been furiously gnawing her own arm off.
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it.
Same with that
Before
one. She doesn't
ripped
have any
to
blood on her
crack
mouth,
through
which makes me wonder if they
bone,
actually did
pulls
it as a
the
separate
bleeding
CG
stuff
or if they
of
just
her
like
arm
had
through
a
the iron
little
blade.
blood spatter extra.
She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even
Oh, it was just the
bothered.
hand, it wasn't the arm.
Thank you.
As we've established,
Now
she
let's get
has
out of here.
tons of them.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are
Yes,
too
yes,
high.
you've done this
The
to me
princess approaches
before.
the bottom stair. Wait, this isn't for watch me.
Oh.
So yeah, this is where, and I'm gonna continue doing this because again,
Stop that.
I would like to see if there's a way I can get through this game without
I
ever
thought
having
this was
to
a little
actually
too easy.
slay the princess, or to even attempt to.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting.
I don't want to.
The blade. Move.
Also, because I want to
the
see like what the
blade.
what the differences are in this scene, where it's like I'm doing everything the same, but I have made the decision to bring the knife in here instead, right?
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Now this one, I might not suffer as much.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease.
Yeah, there we go.
Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Noticing the chapter 2 title is always different,
You're on a path.
which probably reflects who our extra
and at
voice
the
is
end
going
of
to be
that
this time,
path
right?
is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
So we know that he doesn't remember anyway, so it doesn't matter.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie.
Yeah.
Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink.
No, I didn't. Raise middle finger.
Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
You know what he's gonna say about the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the base. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin.
Ah, I see. That's
hope
why
you know
this
how
is
ridiculous
this
you
background
look.
is so shitty. Is because this is supposed to be in every single cabin.
But there was a mirror, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
I don't think it's that he doesn't want us to know about it. I think it's that he doesn't know that it's there, and we are unfortunately. I feel like it's one of those things where it seems like he's conspiring against us, but it's just like we are in reality bound to what he says in this space or something. I'm not going to pick up the knife this time.
I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade.
Oh,
the skeptic is on the
Situation, I'm
side
not
of
letting us
murder.
go down there without a weapon. Are you sure? What if she... I don't know, turns it against us. Which I'm bringing up in a purely hypothetical manner. Yes, I'm sure. Turns it against you. She's a prisoner here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her. Which you won't be doing because she's an existential threat to the entire world.
You say that.
Okay. I'm trusting you. Normally, yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. We take the knife as we go. Wonderful. You do exactly that. Sweeping the blade from the table.
Skeptic is like, no, I'm taking control this time.
Interesting. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Skeptic's like, you've been fucking around too much.
It's not like we have to use it. No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
I love how he has that line in every single one of these descriptions, and it's always like added really glibly.
Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Are we not the first? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
Oh, they've got her in a lot of chains this time. I don't think I can cut her head off.
Around her neck,
and her... Well, okay, maybe she can live through that. I don't know, she has lots of arms.
Both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
I'll sit where I was told to sit.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me? I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains.
No, hold on.
Ambulatory if you're going to save the world. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Now hold on, I like where this is going.
And why is that? Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is? And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it? I don't know. Maybe it will. He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
I do wonder if this was written by a GM after having had to deal with a particularly obstinate and doubtful player.
But what if he's telling the truth? He isn't.
Because for all the Disco Elysium jokes we make, this is just how like D&D parties talk about their GM, who's a normal human person who optimistically has a book they're reading from, and sometimes is just making it up as they go.
Look, sometimes when you're a GM, you include a detail in a scene to like kind of emphasize the nature of the scene, and then your dumbass shithead players get attached to that one detail.
That's right.
And you have to steer them in the direction of ignoring the thing you just kind of made up on a whim.
That's the thing, Ben. Communication is all about signal and noise, and any signal can be interpreted if someone thinks it's like, you know, if you made the signal, they're going to think that there's an intent behind it, even if there's not. Which is why we're going to inspect the shackle.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity.
She wants me to put that thing on.
I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next. What
Yes,
is
you
that
do.
supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad. Come out and say it then. You're just wasting
What,
time.
Shia? You thought I wasn't going to take the invitation to be shackled up next to the princess in the basement?
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck. And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement. Excuse me? Yes? Are we stuck here now? Yes.
What do you think?
Well, that's alright.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now? Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve. That's horrible. It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information. Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
That's good. I'm glad that Emil and I are on a wavelength of at least the broad strokes.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
I don't need to know the answers to any of these
You
questions.
and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring. There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
I like the voice of the
There
skeptics kind of doing a little bit of a David Hayter, just a little bit. Just kind of a the blah 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 blah. I'm gonna put this shackle around my neck to see what it does. Oh fuck my knife.
That's right.
Time
That's right, Snake.
passes.
Shackles are used to restrain someone,
Passes
usually a
and
prisoner.
Passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything.
I mean, you could strangle
She's not
her.
ending anything. She's just.
I mean, she's already halfway there based on the shackle around her neck.
Yeah. I mean, we know the
Her
distance
very
isn't that far. You
existence
could
is a
just,
threat.
like,
It harms everything
you know,
around it.
reach out and kill her.
I could be like, hey, Missy, come here a little close. Let me give you a little bit of a noogie, and then just put her in the armhole and just kerchunk.
Yeah.
How
I mean,
exactly
if you
does that work?
snap her head quick enough, she's gonna break her neck against the thing around her neck. So
This
you
is,
know.
of course, assuming that she has like an interior human physiology that is receptive at all to
Well,
any
we
kind
saw
of
she at least has muscles and bones.
Yeah, and she also did like gnaw her own arm off halfway in one instance without so much as blinking about it. So like, I don't know, and she didn't seem particularly concerned about like the blood loss or anything like that. So I'm kind of just like, you know, I don't know that snapping her neck actually does anything
It just does.
aside from make her kind of lop at it.
But your
I
line
mean,
of
even if she's
questioning is
undead, like if you
interrupted
separate her
by
neck,
the
like the
passage of
interior
even
separate her
more
neck from the
time.
body,
And
she
after
can't
that,
move.
Even more
Presumably.
time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same. If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same, even if the
Also, if the
differences
narrator
are
is to be
small,
trusted,
they
she
have
can
to
presumably be
exist.
killed by knife
That's just
wound.
how things work.
I don't believe the narrator is to be trusted. I believe the narrator's limitations apply to us, but I also, again, we've seen a specific thing, and again, I'm metagaming here because I remember, even if my character doesn't, that like the fact that he locked the door on us once, and I said, I believe that you can open it, and then she opened it like it was no problem, right? I don't think the narrator's limitations apply to her because she's not the perspective character that we are. Well, yeah, Shia, but I don't want to know the answer to that question. I'm sure I'll learn it at some point when I run out of other things to
Suppose you're
do.
correct. Things are
But-
changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
I don't like small talk.
That's rude.
Fine, silence it is.
Yeah.
You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls. That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode. She hasn't starved. I guess she hasn't.
I say we're also not a person, so I don't even know if we can
Yeah.
starve. We're like
Even
some weird,
more silent time
some weird
passes
flesh
as you watch roots push themselves through the
gnarled
increasingly
lumps and
porous
feathers and
walls
things
of
of
the
that
basement.
nature.
Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and until suddenly, there are no walls. And then... And
And narrator's gone, so I guess the
think
world's
he's
ended.
gone.
Ah.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us.
Oh, well. All's
So
well that
this
ends
is
well.
the outside world. It's cold.
We're back here in the fiber pit. But you do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Ah, so the hero remembers us.
No, I don't think he does, because he remembers seeing the mirror in the cabin. Right? Because the hero can see the mirror.
Well, we should tell him that we're going to meet again.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
I think we did say this last time.
You're
as
right.
well.
Don't worry, friend of hero. Don't worry, voice of hero.
Something stronger is holding me back.
I think it's a different voice of hero every time, personally.
Okay. If you say so.
But it doesn't mean I can't be nice to them
I trust you.
and extend them.
Feels too good to be true.
Well, that's the thing. I also didn't want to say that because I know for a fact I'm never seeing this fucker again. Ooh, I got slime on me.
Ooh, we've withered this time.
So last time I grew, this time I withered.
I wonder if that means we're doing things in the wrong direction.
I don't know, because it didn't look like I had shrunk. It looked like I got rot on me. I feel like it's a way of cataloging what routes we've done, perhaps. Oh, it's a little
We'll
different.
see if
She's
we
actually
get-
staring directly at us this time.
Yeah, we'll see if we get stronger or wither the next round. That'll prove if it's a different thing every time.
Yes, I think. Well, I don't think it'll be strong. I think it'll be like a different word.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again.
Oshaya says the only thing that worth asking is, what do you think of this vessel? Because that'll change every time.
I see. Because I also notice her form is a lot more coherent now. Where like obviously she has the shackles, but also she only has like the one body, whereas on the other ones she was like a mass of different bodies all kind of like smushed together.
All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same. As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
really want to ask this one because I feel like this is the experience is the point, and I think belaboring it too much is not the thing to do. However, I will ask this question.
This one is determined, but also cautious. One that would rather let the world move around her than move it herself. She will make for a patient heart. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be. We will know when we near our destination.
So we're not close enough for her to give me a count yet.
Mm-hmm.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Again, I'm mostly asking these on the basis of if I'm actually interested in knowing the answer to the question. For some of these, like, I don't know, I'm okay with the let it ride and just, like, find my own,
and
like,
at the end of
meaning in
that
it,
path
you know?
is a cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And in the basement of that, you're here to slay her.
Yes, yes, yes. Slay the princess, slay the princess.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do. Nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Remember, the best way to refute a nihilist is to threaten to kill them.
Yeah, but, like, we've been doing quite a lot of dying so far, so I'm not sure if that matters too much to the prospective character. If you want, Shia, I wouldn't, like, I trust you to be measured in the things that you say and not be too overly leading, but...
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up.
I'll try being a
short
little
path
nicer
to
to the
cabin.
narrator, even though I will continue to
You'll find the
committedly
princess
avoid
within.
actually doing violence to the princess to the fullest extent of my possibility.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
We're not going to go through with this, right?
She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Okay, I'll take that under advisement. I'm just like, I'm genuinely just fucking around and seeing like what possibilities open up. So like, if it comes to that being to that, then like, I'll do that. I'll look into that. But I just really have no idea what kinds of other possibility spaces we're gonna get. So, though it seems like I've actually finding myself at a point where I am elapsing the ability to do Act 1 without just going like, it's time to murder the princess.
Bare. The air is stale and musty, and the blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I'm not gonna take the knife though.
The door to the basement creaks open.
Yes,
Her
yes.
voice.
Hello?
It's hypnotizing.
Don't let it fool you.
Yes, yes.
You should try being honest with her about
It's been
slaying
so
her,
long
but
since
that
anyone's
you'd
come
rather
down
not
here.
to.
I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
I'll have to try that on the next one. Because also, again, like, I didn't even come down with a weapon this time either, so...
Princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far.
She's beautiful.
I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
begging you to
Hi.
Let's talk.
Okay.
Let's get what her answer to the name thing is.
Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you
See, that's
imagine
correct.
being
You can
named
trust her because
Princess
she knows what her
Princess?
actual title is.
Oh, I see. I, however, I think it would be okay if her name is Princess. I am gonna ask about that.
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
There's so many options you can pick. She hasn't been. I'll try being honest with her just because like
Yeah.
again, like I don't have any way of actually hurting her currently.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
Since the beginning of linear time as far as this universe is concerned.
I don't know how to destroy the world, if that's what you're getting at.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the
I mean,
day,
that
whatever
kind
the
of,
two
in
of
some
us have going on down
circumstances,
here
not
is
knowing
my
how
choice.
helps you destroy the world.
That
Like
is
if
true.
you're getting the buttons that can launch the nuclear weapons.
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
That
I
is
don't
true. They
trust
haven't.
that, and I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about.
That's also true.
Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to? We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation,
I
it's
like
whoever
this too
locked
because I've
me down
basically
here.
done the same thing
And
as I
it's
did the
whoever
first
sent you
playthrough,
here. And
where
those
I
two
got
groups are
her as
probably one
like
and
being
the
very
same.
innocent or whatever. But because I've decided to sit here and talk with her about it and made her understand how fucked up the situation is, she's now a little like angrier than she was in the first go, which I think is an interesting detail.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
But the narrator's trying to swing me on the anti-imperial angle.
I mean, normally it's a good thing to consider, you know, being anti-monarchy, but we all like when the chosen royal comes to reclaim their throne.
So mostly I'm just like, I could try letting her out again. Because again, the thing is, like, I'm trying to pick things that are consistent with, like, what my interests are in a scene. And again, like, I'm just not interested in trying to kill her, for the most part. But I also don't know that I want to be like, oh, let's just sit here. Because I did actually do that last route.
You're only making this more
I'll do this, though.
difficult.
Because at least with what we've heard, it might stop me from doing the exact same route over and
Thank
over
you.
again, at least.
Thank
But-
you.
You're making a huge no. You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding. They're large and heavy. Far too
Yes,
soft.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away.
I don't think I picked this one
Okay.
this time.
I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door... Is someone else here?
Yes, yes. Well, you know it's locked too, and I know I can't do anything about it, so we're just gonna
You
go
make
straight
your way
back.
to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for who? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down.
There's a slight panic, right?
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising
Oh,
her arm.
I'm back
to her
doing
mouth,
this again.
Her teeth
Yeah.
tearing through her as she rips her flesh from her bone. It's the blade from upstairs. Or we could use. You won't like.
Because I just don't want to actually slay the princess, but I don't know if this will actually... You know, I can get us back to the,
Fine. Against your
To the
better
other
judgment,
one.
you cut into her. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort. Her limb falls to the... She didn't so much as utter a... No. She did. She smiles softly as her... How is she still smiling after...
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Now let's get out of here.
No. We won't have any of that. The state... As the princess approach... Wait. This... Watch me.
What?
So will it actually just let
Stop
me
that.
redo that?
Something's come over you, hasn't?
Your body lunges forward, but the princess dodges. Stop it.
Oh yeah, see, I can't resist.
Straight out.
It's because I've already done this before, so I have to actually do one of these other ones. We'll do
Well,
the one that's right next to it.
Thank you.
There's no getting through to you right now, is there? A betrayal of will is still a betrayal. You'll regret thinking of me as a helpless damsel.
Oh, don't worry, I don't think of you as a helpless damsel.
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart. It's not enough to stop her.
She has fangs
You feel
now.
her claws in your throat.
Yeah.
Then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're
I wonder
very
if this
lucky,
means next
it will
time we'll
kill
get
her
another
before
voice
she
that's
can
like,
reach
no,
the
you're bringing the
outside
fucking
world.
knife with you.
It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny that everything goes dark, and you die.
Yes, yes, The Witch.
Ah.
You're on a path.
Robert
in the
Eggers
woods,
directed this one.
and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him.
Ah, the voice of the opportunist.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show. Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We were just weighing our options in a morally ambiguous situation. You can't blame us for weighing our options. I can if you failed to slay the princess, which you apparently did. So great, congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? That's a very good point. This princess character seems like a lot of trouble, and if you think about it, actually slaying her probably breaks us out of this cycle, right? We don't want to be stuck here forever, do we?
I don't think that's the case.
Thick, aren't you? Laying it on a little thick? What are you talking about? I'm sharing my honest opinions. What matters is that almost everyone seems to be on the same page. So whenever you're ready, you can stop dawdling, get to the cabin, and save the world. A warning. She will lie.
Yes,
Don't
yes.
worry, I think we've taken
Yeah,
our
yeah. What
lesson
about the
to
cabin
heart
will
at
look like this
point.
time?
You can trust us to get...
What kind of cabin we got this time?
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if
Don't
by
look at the mirror
accident,
this
just
time.
happens
We'll
to
see if
resemble a
the
room.
voice of the hero
The
says something
floor
different.
is damp and earthy, and the
I
only
like
furniture
that. I
left
like that
is a
thought.
slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your... No blade. Leaving it behind didn't work out so well for us last time. It'll always be here if we need it. Sure, that was also true last time and we still died, but we definitely know what we're doing this time.
Oh, and did you see that? The mirror just fucking blinked out of existence.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw, waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
I feel like they must have only recorded one take of that line and then just bolted it onto the end. And not to say that it's like a limitation. I think it's genuinely funny. Like it adds to the joke of him saying that every fucking time.
Look, when you have this much dialogue, you gotta save where you can.
See, that's the thing where I feel like it's not actually any easier to do that. I feel like it might have just been a deliberate choice.
Her voice.
I want it to be one time we go to like an immaculate palace that she's in the basement of. And he still says that.
Honestly, we kind of had that on the second one when we came with the romantic voice.
I don't like how her voice skitters.
Oh, she's my rat princess.
She's gonna be a big bug.
But like we had the second time where it's like it was the dungeon, but it was like well lit and like had like gold trim decor or whatever. And he's like, if she lives down here, slaying her is probably a mercy, with the exact same intonation.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared.
Something nasty. I mean, I've seen myself in the mirror. I think she's right. I'm not nasty.
But you are. You're a wretched little thing.
Oh, okay.
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
See? She knows us. Is this enough for you to believe what we've been saying? Maybe, but you shouldn't let that cloud your judgment. She's just a princess. As long as you remember that and remain focused, slaying her will be easy. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation.
Or maybe I can let her kill me.
You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world.
You don't slay her, she's gonna
There's no
turn into a
reasoning
big
with what she
spider.
is.
I think she's going to do that even if I slay her.
Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions?
No.
Do you want to hear what everyone
This
has
is
to
a
say?
dictatorship
Or do you
of the
just want to hear
Saturn
yourself
Tariot.
talk?
We do whatever I want to do.
You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you.
Thank you,
Oh.
Marcher
The basement
Jovi.
steps.
Oh, look at her
Entering the
little
dark
tail.
below.
She's
You
like a
can just make
Tumblr
out the shape
hobbit.
of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, once again seeming to offer a helping hand while likely hiding the other behind your back. Fine, I'll play along for now. What do you want?
She's doing the :3 face right now, but with the one with the bracket over it, it signifies her mischievousness.
She's acting like she already knows you. I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us, do you?
I will say, like, even for such a little thing, I am impressed by the degree of which, like, it's not enough that you have to, like, add those flags for if you actually said anything in the woods or for if you actually said anything on the stairs, but also having to do that and then record, like, write and record the version of that for every permutation of the second act.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, the flow chart.
It just seems like
of
such a thing
this.
where it's like, it's not impressive to a casual player, but you just think about the amount of work it takes to do that little bit of reactivity and your hair turns white.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. You fought us on it back in the woods. That was when the only perspectives we had were yours and mine. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy.
I don't believe
You're-
that.
Don't
Look, I'm a
talk to her.
lizard
You're just
monster.
going to make
You're a
things more
lizard
difficult than
monster
they
of
have
some
to be.
kind, maybe.
Listen to
We
me,
have
princess.
common ground.
I'm a horrible lizard monster, and you're like a princess with some sort of ontological morphic capabilities that let you be whatever kind of princess that you feel reflects my desires or impulses most. I think we can come to some sort of arrangement.
Well,
Look, you have
I
a
seem to remember
tail.
you
I
having a tongue.
probably have a tail.
Where'd the one I saw go?
You came to me with empty hands last time, too. But that didn't mean you hadn't been plotting something nasty all along. What you did showed me as much.
Yeah, but like I didn't want to do that. They didn't let me pick the ending. I already picked the once.
Look,
We
they
didn't
threw the knife
plot
down the
anything.
stairs
We just
at me.
made an informed decision based on the information we had at the time. I think you're both making perfectly valid points. Sure, we didn't plot anything, but it's easy to see how she might think we did.
For once, the opportunist says something mildly sensible.
Oh, smart. Let's apologize, get us back on the right foot.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster. If you're sorry, then let me out of here. Prove it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh, we
can't
can
actually
only
just do
leave.
that.
Maybe we have to talk more to see if we can warm up to her, or get her to warm up to us.
I suppose you didn't come into my hovel of your own accord, did you? All right. I suppose I could team up. I need a way out after all. And unfortunately, you're the only one I have.
Seems to me like she's offering a mutually beneficial arrangement. We should take it. Do you know what the word mutually means? Because it sounds to me like she's offering an arrangement that benefits her and her alone.
Well, the benefit for me is I get to see an ending, and it will probably be one where she,
Yeah.
like, brutally tears me apart with her bare hands.
Oh, I don't need you to cut me out.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist.
Yeah, see, she can just do whatever she wants.
Oh,
She could have
well,
gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest. This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
No.
with what?
Yes, let's.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face. She never breaks eye contact, even as the two of you find yourselves
she's like a borrower.
face to face. She's silent for a long moment, as if testing to see what you'll do now that she's within arm's reach.
After you, darling. You're the one it lets come and go. It's best if I follow.
Oh, no. We can't have that. If anyone is going to turn their back on anyone else, she's going to turn her back on us.
Well,
No,
I'm
she's
just
not, 'cause
really-
that's what happened last time.
It shouldn't matter who leads
Well,
and
we
who
can
follows.
just walk
We're
up
working
the stairs
together here.
backwards.
That's the thing, is realistically, one of two things happen. Either she goes up and she's going to get stabbed by us again, or we go up and she's going to kill us.
Well, if it doesn't
But, you
matter,
know.
then she can go first. Somebody has to go first, and it might as well be. You're talking a lot about
I didn't
trusting
even skip that.
someone who, by her
I
very
impulsively.
definition, cannot be trusted. I don't know how many more warnings I have to dole out, but if you help her out of here, you're going to regret it.
I've never once regretted anything.
That's right. You're the one who's going first. Don't worry, I'll be right behind you watching every single thing you do.
That's exactly what I'm worried about.
Her acting in this
Step
bit,
onto
she
the
has the
stairs and
she
begin
has
your
the
ascent from the
cadence of a
basement. The princess follows close on your
DBZA
heels, perhaps
character.
even a little closer
You know,
than you'd like.
when as I've discovered, sometimes when you have to have one person do a whole bunch of different kinds of voices, you exhaust the possibility space,
is-
and you just get to be a little silly.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. It just feels like she's being directed by Kaiser Neko.
We don't know for a fact that she isn't
You're only
yet,
saying
at
this
least.
might
because
have
you
been.
want us to feel nervous. I do want those things, but I want them for a good reason. I don't need you to trust me for my sake, because I already know that I'm right. This is for you.
Weird that he hasn't shut the door on us
Can
yet.
we walk backwards up the stairs? I
Thank you,
Hey!
It's a smarter
opportunist.
idea. She can't sneak
Hey
in
Ben,
and attack
he
if we're
was
failing.
listening to you.
I like the opportunist.
No. The stairs are a bunch of overgrown roots. You'll trip and hurt yourself.
Well, just take your time.
The princess is silent as you both continue the climb, and, in no time at all, the upstairs of the cabin is within reach. Isn't that a relief? We're fine. Nothing happened. You're not even going to wait until you're through that door to proudly claim your victory, are you? Why did you just say that? I think we know why. You feel something dig into your shoulder, sharp
Yeah, there we
and
go.
piercing.
Oh, well,
The
that's
princess
not fair.
clawing at you and pulling you down with
Well, I
her
mean, it's to be
full
expected.
weight.
That's what we did to her last time.
Together you tumble back down the uneven stairs, your body and hers crashing against the unyielding wooden roots, until finally you both separate with a bone-shaking thud against the basement floor. You feel something pop.
Lol, the scorpion said to the frog. Lamau.
Oh,
The princess lands against the far wall, gasping as she struggles to recover from the impact. You're still in shock, trying to get a hold of yourself. She grins as you continue to remain exactly where you are, cackling derisively as she watches you realize that you won't be getting up. Wait, why won't we be getting up? I'm afraid your back is broken. One unlucky fall is all it takes, really, and you had several. You know what? I'll say it. That sucks. I don't like having a broken back.
A very understated reaction to that.
We were going to help her. Why? Why did she do that? It's what I would have done. If you considered not...
Yeah, there's the load-bearing line. She does this because it's what I would have done.
Of course not. It's what keeps us alive.
well, didn't work this time.
She's just mirroring whatever the third voice is, or the...
Yeah.
And yet here we are, paralysed and stuck with someone who hates us in the basement of a remote cabin.
You must have known this was coming. The arrogance of turning your back to me after everything you've done.
Yeah, I know. That's what trust is about.
Why would I ever trust you? Your hands have spilled my blood. And knowing that, you should never have trusted me either. You should have known I would never walk hand in hand with a loathsome thing like you.
Yeah, but you spilled more of my blood than I have of yours.
Yeah,
so
you
really...
came out the
By our very
winner.
natures, only one of us could make it upstairs unscathed. Someone had to make the first move. Better me than you.
See, this is why I wanted her to go first. I had this whole little scheme planned, where once she'd passed by the table upstairs, I'd have said, now pick up the blade and stab her in the back. And then
I
you'd
think that
say
idea's
something
stupid.
like, wow, that's an amazing idea that I never saw coming. Thanks for looking out for us. And then you would have done it and we wouldn't be stuck down here with a broken back. There's just one problem with that. And what's that? She was clearly planning to betray us. And if she was in front of us, she would have gotten to the blade first. Ugh, you're right, aren't you? I thought this whole thing was ironclad, but really it was doomed from the start, wasn't it? The princess's body twitches as she tries to get up.
Oh.
Yeah, that's about what I expected. Look, her arm's got her arm is Family Guide behind her back.
Mm-hmm.
Ho ho ho! So she's got it as bad as us.
Something inside me is broken. Isn't that a cruel twist of the knife? Isn't that so funny?
She eyes you with intensity, silence falling between you for a long moment as her gaze travels up and down your battered form.
Seems I'm not the only one, though.
Wait, are we both just stuck here? Certainly seems that way. What a way to go. But look on the bright side. In all this chaos, you may have actually managed to deliver a lethal wound. The world could be saved after all.
Evil defeats
We're
itself.
going to die together. Isn't that a lovely treat? I wonder how long it'll take. Maybe I'll get to watch the worms lick your bones clean.
Girl with normal,
Is
healthy
that
interests.
really what's going to happen? Hello? Are you still there? What happens next?
He doesn't respond because the world is ending.
I think he's gone.
Or at least we're going back to the muscle fiber dimension.
Something strange is twisting this place out of shape. I wasn't feeling much of anything, but now I feel cold.
I don't think she's gonna like this one. It's all busted up.
She doesn't seem to have a whole lot of strong opinions about, or at least she's stated that she's happy with whatever we bring her.
Yeah, but
We'll see. We'll see how she feels about that going forward, I guess.
I guess she didn't really care about the ones that were missing arms.
Yeah, well, I mean, she has plenty of them.
She's gone.
Maybe that's where they all come from.
Where did she go? Should we
All
try and find her?
the writhing tentacle massive arms, just all the arms that she lost in other timelines.
Is that a mirror?
Oh yeah, he does say something different.
Oh yeah, he does.
But it feels so bad. Like, if he thinks it's bad, I'm with him. What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now. You better watch your back. You can't get rid of me that easy.
I think I can. You approach the mirror. You've unraveled.
Ah, so it is different every time.
Find yourself in the long quiet once again. We're at the cabin.
There's a world beyond the endless
Oh, she's being
walls of the
supported
long
this
quiet.
time.
Yeah, and she's
You're
lost the
supposed
shackle.
to be there.
Yeah, because
Do
it's
you
based
know
on
what we'll find out
whatever
there?
body you gave her, I guess.
I guess
So
that's
this
true.
time her back is broken, so the arms have to support her.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Hmm.
Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me, short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins.
That feel when you mostly just watch movies and don't actually, like, have a human experience aside from watching movies. Morgan of the Devil.
I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there?
I don't really know anything.
This one is hope marred by bitterness and betrayal. She could see the end of the tunnel, and the door was closed on her. She will make for a righteous heart. Do not mourn her. She is finally on the other side.
Do not cry for Billy. Do not cry!
Well, here's what I want to ask. Asking about the voices and the narrator.
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
All of these are confirmation. Oh, and one of these isn't dialogue. Huh. I don't know which one of these I want to say. I don't think I'm going to kill him. I have not been playing a particularly violent-natured Saturn in this game.
I think you should ask for answers.
I think that's a good.
Do
I think it's a good
not
call.
look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within
See,
ourselves.
she knows what is in my heart.
One. Whatever you bring me
one
next
more.
will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular. A final multitude.
Well, I guess we're going to get an ending.
Presumably.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
So now the question is...
You're on a path in the woods, and at the
what
end of
to
that
do
path
this time?
is a cabin. You're here to slay...
Yes, end of the world and all that jazz.
Don't mention it. It's
We'll
all
thank the
part of
narrator. I feel like
You
we're
make
running
your
out of
way up the
opportunities to
short
do
path
that.
to the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
A warning. She will lie. We're not going to go through with it. Ignore him.
Yes.
The interior of the cabin is almost in the blade is your implement.
And we'll take it this time.
You take the blade from the table.
I have an even split of times we've taken it and times we've not.
The door to the basement creak her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds, don't let it fool.
Yes. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
Well, I mean, I haven't sent to here, so it wasn't a joke.
I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the two of us a chance to talk things out.
I don't think we need to talk, really.
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Well, you could throw the knife.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding
I'm
out
making
what I
a
can
very
do.
complicated mod for Slay the Princess where I replace a knife with a gun and have to manually hunt down the 2 voice actors to change all the dialogue surrounding that.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Then I'm not talking to you. I guess we are.
Fine.
Fine!
We'll be that
Enough
way.
of everything, just slay her already. Or drop the blade. Do something. You stare at the princess, squinting fiercely. She squints back.
Tension!
The 2 of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you?
Ideally.
You'll have to blink eventually. Just make a choice.
I'm liking this no slaying run that we're doing, so I'm going to continue with that.
Yeah.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands.
Pacifist
and
run of
drops
Slay
to
the
floor
Princess.
with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, we'll be fine. I
Yes,
don't know what
yes.
you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reason.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Don't just tell her that.
Why not?
Why not?
That's cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster?
Well, yes.
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart. Hopefully sooner.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
Also curious in this that she's using capital T them and I use capital T them in that dialogue, which suggests that we're referring to the plural hymns, right?
Yeah.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever.
Maybe we can look upstairs this time.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock. Is someone else here?
We know that's not going to work.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for her, easier for everyone.
Yes.
I heard
yes.
the door slam. The knife. Pick it up and cut me out.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
I'll probably just end up
Against
here doing
your
the same
better
thing I did
judgment,
or the
Place
other
that you
one,
cut
Yeah.
into
which is
her
we're just gonna get
flesh.
to
The
let
blade
her
is
kill
sharp,
me.
and you make quick work of it. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, how is she so composed after losing an arm?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. As the princess approaches the bottoms... Wait, this isn't fair. You watch me.
So we can still...
Stop that.
You can still warn
This
her.
was a little too...
Your body lunges forward to... Stop it. Stop.
And now that's
You
great
can't
as
resist,
well.
though.
Thank you.
So,
You swing
Well,
your
this is
arm
a different
towards her
attempt, at
front,
least.
The blade singing
yeah.
through the air.
Again, like, I like this approach we're doing of having these be the ones, like, none of these are ones where I kill her willingly. I feel like it's
She
important
grabs
for
your
me,
arm,
at
her
least.
grip like a
Oh, look, you
stone
can see my
vice.
feathers.
Oh.
Some sort of horrible bird creature.
You drop the blade. Pathetically.
Oh, well.
She
You're
lets
pretty good
go,
at that.
and faster than you can react, rears back and hits you with a bone-shattering haymaker.
Yeah! Good for her.
There's a ringing in your ears. You're fairly certain you can feel bone grinding against bone where she fractured your jaw, but your body isn't allowing you to feel much right now, adrenaline coursing through your system and numbing your nerves. You fall to your knees. You're barely able to bring your trembling arms up to defend yourself before she hits you again. Every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming with blood somewhere inside of you.
You poor thing. I'll go ahead and put you out of your misery.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground. Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could possibly possess. It can't just end like this, right? I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Crazy. The tower.
Wait, have these all
You're
been
on a
Arcana?
path in the woods.
No.
And at the end
I
of
know
that
the
path
last one we got
is a
was the
cabin.
witch. I don't remember what the two
Okay,
And
yeah,
in the
that's
basement
true.
of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Yes. She's gonna kill me again!
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If she doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Who's our guest this time?
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to
No
be a
one?
lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's
Ah.
nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Proceed to the game.
A warning, she will lie. We
Yes,
might
yes.
as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
Oh, breathy and sad.
You're being annoying.
Oh.
Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would
Narrator,
be
you're
for
really
everyone,
putting the scale on me
yourself
wanting to
included.
be contrarian to you
I
again.
agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
That's right, you don't. You're just a voice in my head who will die after I let her kill me again. Isn't that what you
interior of
want?
The cabin is larger
Oh.
and more
Oh my God,
grandiose than its
the
hardly
knife's super
exterior
high
would
up.
suggest. The only furniture of note is a
Is she
massive
gonna be
marble
really
altar
big?
with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Well, I was gonna also, like, to the extent the cabin itself reflects our prior attempt too, is this just of how the broken feels like completely helpless?
The blade is
Yeah.
your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
I want to try looking
Walk
in the
up to
mirror
the wall
again,
next
but
to the
I already know how
basement.
this is gonna go.
What are you talking about? reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
I kind of want to try taking the blade here because I kind of get the sense that like Voice of the Broken might not let us take it.
Maybe.
You
Also,
take
we
the
have to
blade
climb
from
the
the
ladder.
altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
This is actually kind of nice.
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice
Oh, that was a
rolls
different
up the
take.
stairs.
Ever so slightly, yeah.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Don't even get to have
Making your way
dialogue
down
this
the
time.
spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you,
Whoa!
almost glowing in the weak starlight.
Well,
her
a
figure
knife's not gonna
framed
work
by a
on this
stained
one.
glass window.
I don't know, I've
Her
played
long
Shadow of the
hair
Colossus.
billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You brought that knife again.
Ah, another
even
little
though you
bird,
know
so she
it's
sees us that way
useless.
too.
Such charming audacity. Drop it.
I'm gonna be a little rebellious.
As if on command, the blade slips from
Oh,
your
well.
grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor.
There we go, that's what I was hoping we would see.
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade.
Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel. Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the
Oh,
moment
interesting.
I squeezed the life out of your
If I hadn't
broken
told her
lungs.
that, then maybe this encounter would have been different.
Maybe.
I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It
Well-
certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson. You are the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she?
Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it? He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her?
Kick her in the shins.
First things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
I'm gonna say this first, even though I don't think it'll change anything.
Yeah.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
The issue is Saturn the player does not feel very subservient, but also Saturn the player doesn't really care about stopping her from ending the world. But I kind of want to do this one, just because for however pointless it may or may not be, I feel like a degree of obstinacy is in keeping.
Yeah. Go for it.
See. Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants. No objections here.
Narrator, you're supposed to be in my corner.
Don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, that's fun. I like that.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway.
Can you scroll up at all?
No.
Okay.
This
I didn't
is
know there were like other options.
No, the scroll wheel doesn't do anything, and I can't actually manually drag it either. I like that it's a finger, by the way. It's been that the entire time,
Yeah.
like a little chopped off finger with a little cartoon bone sticking out of it.
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground.
Well, you're not standing on the ground at all, so...
Yeah, exactly.
are
I'm just a little
quite
freaking. I'm like the size of a
Well,
keyboard
I-
elf right now.
And
Yeah.
brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What?
What?
You
Oh,
don't
I'm not doing
have
that
to
one.
Listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
I like that when Shia earlier was like, "Oh, you should try and pick a thing to resist to not help her." I'm glad the one I'm trying to do that one is the one where I have like seemingly no option in the matter.
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
There's no option to resist. I can only either slay myself or slay the princess. We'll do this the once.
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do
Oh, she
your
had a little
best
look on her
to
face
stagger
like,
forward.
"Oh, he's actually trying."
One step
Oh,
at a time.
didn't expect
you
this.
Move towards the princess.
Yeah, just one step. That's not. We can deal with that.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry. Don't. As you take another step
Oh.
forward, then it slides
didn't mean to
back
do that.
out,
Hold
the
on a second.
wound burning as a small hiss
Is this the log? As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through your flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her. It's what she wants. You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next. Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
Very dynamic by having you move the mouse around that much.
Yeah, it's adding something.
Yeah.
Continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement.
Ouch, that's not hygienic.
You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will. You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't
Shut up!
Shut up, voices are broken, you suck.
You're my least favorite one.
No one likes a quitter.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death. There's a place at my side for you, if you'll have it. Not as an equal, but as something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Well, that's the meaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking
Thanks to
distance.
the
and
narrator
she's
and the
only
hero are in
negotiating
agreement this
now.
time.
Yeah, just
She
for
knows
once,
you
like,
have
man, that
what
guy
it
sucks
takes to
ass.
connect to her. Seize the moment before it's too late. No. Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in
Hello,
the face of the
bud.
princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance. She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees. But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest. As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh.
You win! We did it!
I don't know about that.
We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly.
You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
Shut up!
Shut up.
Hey!
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You!
Oh, she lost
the reverb.
You worm, you defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet. There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks. Numbness and pain spreading
Unfortunately,
through your body.
this moment is undercut by me immediately remembering the Kate Beaton, or not Kate Beaton, the Katie Tiedrick Pokemon type memory comic, where it's like, how do you remember that fighting is weak against bird? And it's just like, have you ever tried to punch a bird?
Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact.
Hello, Shia. We made friends with the broken, by which I mean that we got into a situation and rejected it at every possible opportunity. And a giant woman pulverized me with her big meaty fists, which makes me feel the most like Hayao Miyazaki. Or, not Hayao Miyazaki. Wait, who's the FromSoft one? Hayao's the director, right?
Yeah, it's still Miyazaki, but I can't remember his other name.
It's a different Miyazaki.
You lie there, broken.
But that one,
beyond
the one who,
unable
you know,
to
she's
even
also
see what
barefoot,
she's done to you.
appropriately, actually.
Yes.
But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this.
Shut up!
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
But I don't feel liberated.
The dynamic between the three of them makes me remember that quote about the Blue Man Group. How there's always three
The
members
pain.
because three
I
is the
feel
smallest
fine.
number of people you can have to exclude someone.
Yeah.
She collapses to the floor. Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together. I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here, were we? Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something, I guess. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
I wonder if because we killed her, she's the hands aren't gonna take her.
Oh! An actual third chapter.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that? I think he's upset. And what's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god!
This is... So I was gonna say, like, Shia, is this normally how it goes? Where, like, you just get Act 1 and 2 repeating until you finally get to Act 3? Or is it, I'm only getting Act 3 now because this is the one where I finally was actually like, no, kill her.
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing.
I see.
The second one, okay.
Interesting.
Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us, and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed.
I could have just not done it and, like, gotten the ending where gotten a thing of having reached the end without ever having slayed the princess, but that felt like the one where I wanted... I would not have felt... I don't think it would have reflected my desires as a player to have just sort of, like, let that one go.
Alright, enough.
I don't like people telling me what to
Got a
do in
thing I'm
video
supposed
games.
to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path, and at the end of that path is a... If your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her. It's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it? Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
Alright. walking
We
through the
should.
flesh
We're all on the
forest.
same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her. That's it. No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard. If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things
Shut
go back to
up!
how they were before.
I missed the Lothario one.
We need
I want
to
him
be tough
back.
right now.
Where's my
You're making
boy?
it so much
Free my
harder than
boy.
It has to be. So stop whining.
We made it this far with the one. Oh, gross.
Long forgotten.
Oh, now
Oh,
there's
the
just the
mirror.
mirror.
An elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat. That's horrible. You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
The question is, do I take the blade this time or not?
Take the blade is just an explorer.
Yeah, but like as we've seen, the dialogue will change and like the circumstances will change based on whether I actually take it or not. Like it's always been an explorer the entire time.
I don't know. It's your call.
I kind of just want to don't.
You step forward and
I believe in
approach
the
door of
flesh.
basement, hesitating before you open it. Almost as if you don't see it. But you must, because it's right there in front of you. All we see is a damn mirror. It really is, just like last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why here? Why now? Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her. Don't you want to know
Shut
what
up!
we're seeing? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it. Nah, I'm with him on this one. Smash it. Let's
Oh,
get
hey, who are you?
violent already.
We've had the voice of the stubborn the whole time.
Have we?
Well, since this chapter started, yeah.
I feel like I'm being gaslit.
No, we've had the voice of the stubborn.
No, because this chapter's was Voice of the Broken.
Yeah, and then the voice of the stubborn joined us for the flesh forest.
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
It is the caveat of having everybody share a voice, is that I just genuinely did not notice the Voice of the Stubborn chime in.
Yeah.
You reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement.
Ah, there it goes.
As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? You step forward into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence, the metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains.
Say the line.
If the princess lives here, slaying her
There
is
it
probably
is.
doing her a favor.
I'm confident that is the same delivery being spliced into every single one of these.
Her voice,
Like-
a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat. See how
Okay.
you've soured my once divine melody.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you? You've got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good. She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination. And we're going to put an end to her once and for all. Whatever she is now, is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make us?
Some sort of strange
She was
feathery
going to
thing.
end the world last time. If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in blood, a deep, sickening
See, this is a
red
great
that
look
drips
for you.
down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you. Let her in. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen. Screw that. We can win. We've done it before and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us. We don't even have a weapon. It doesn't matter. I refuse to go out any way that isn't kicking and screaming.
I feel like there's not really a whole lot of point in fighting back, but I also don't just want to let her end. So,
Go out fighting.
I'll be apologetic.
Words are not repentance. Apologies are paid for only in flesh and deed. And flesh works for me.
She bounds across the room, her fists ready, her heart set upon your destruction. With a horrifying squelch, you are
Oh, well.
wound.
Easily. Oh, my feathers!
No, that's our stuff. She can't just do that.
That's our
bits.
stuff! All my stuff down there.
She just did. Unfortunate, I know, but reality is reality. You should all just be grateful she's decided to keep us alive.
Shut up!
Even in her defilement, she is merciful. We're not out for the count just yet. But we didn't even bring a weapon. Yes, because we knew it was over.
No weapon this time? It's almost as if you were planning on dying here. As if I'd grant you such a mercy. No, we're going to make this last forever. Let's see how deep we need to dig to find the defiant little spark of your soul. This will hurt you.
Something infiltrates you. Though you do not see it, you feel it, slithering into your disaster of a body, seeping into the gaps between your molecules. The body of a sapient creature has, on average, 30 trillion cells, and each one of those cells is composed of 100 trillion some odd atoms. One of those cells is peeled from the others. 100 trillion atoms are gone.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
Yes? I think. Then 2 are peeled away. Then 4. This is nothing! Nothing! 8. 16. 32. 64. Whatever is happening to us, it's happening faster. 128. 256.
She's putting me into the microplane that you used to like,
512.
grate cheese.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
1024. 2,040.
Yes, I also know powers of 2.
4,096. 8,192.
I feel small. Smaller than before.
16,300.
Just gonna skip that.
Can't just count us.
I know what powers of 2 are, my man.
Yeah.
It's multiplying by the factor of 2 every time.
130.
Yeah.
What happens when it gets higher? Like nothing. Just like nothing's happening now.
But something is happening now. Something in us is liquefying. Something that started small but that keeps getting bigger.
1,048,000. The hundreds don't matter anymore.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
2,096,000.
I don't like this waiting for something to happen. But it's taking so long.
Me when I play any visual novel.
16,768,000. 33,536,000. 67,072,000. Your eyes are useless. 134 million. The thousands don't matter anymore. Your blood begins to go places it shouldn't.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
There's the pain. I can feel it now. But we can handle this. We can't let her win.
We can't handle anything. We're at her mercy.
268 million. We don't need to count anymore. Your lungs fill with liquid.
I like this
You
transforming
smell things
effect
you
that's
shouldn't.
happening in this scene.
You choke on pieces of what used to be you. Doesn't matter, because we're still alive. You are deconstructed. You are reconstructed. A square you, a round you, a you with too many legs, a you with many mouths which won't stop screaming. Then all of it pressed into a ball, tightly packed the size of a fist. What does you even mean anymore? We just keep changing into horrible things we can't control. Make it stop, please. Make it stop. Please make it stop.
Shia, I'm always happy to present new and interesting forms of being bad at a visual novel, a thing that is both possible to do and achieve.
You means we exist. There has to still be a way for us to win. Otherwise this would be pointless, and all this torture would be for nothing.
That's because it is
You're
all
right about one thing. It is torture. But it isn't pointless. The whole point
The stubborn
is
would
that
simply
it's
step
torture.
in. What would you do about this? A picture of you being like peeled apart and turned into a meatball? I would simply handle it.
Are you
Yeah,
still
I would deal
there?
with it. I would win.
Are you still you?
Yes. The ball is unraveled into the shape of a body. The skin peels off in a corkscrew. The eyes are plucked. The organs arranged in the air.
I will say, while the scene itself isn't really doing a lot for me, I am enamored by like the phantasmagorical display of like super gore happening here.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
No. Yes. You are stretched into a line 12 feet long, then 24, then 48. The line gets thinner as you get longer.
Oh fuck, we're getting spaghettified.
The noodles.
4, 8.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
Yes. 16, 32, 64. No. And then, all at once, there is a great rewinding, and all of the disparate threads that once were you fall dutifully back into place. You are whole again, and in your body, the same body you arrived in. The princess stands before you, her dress of skin more tattered than before, her face sullen.
It's all hollow. I ripped you to pieces. I broke your will, but it means nothing. I am forever a piece unfinished, a song with no refrain. We're so different. How could I ever hope for you to understand me?
She stands, arms outstretched, neck craned, gaze transfixed on something unseen above you both.
But perhaps there is a way to grant you understanding. Perhaps there is a way to make myself whole once more.
You are unwound again. But it's different this time. Nothing slithers into your cells. You can feel something changing inside of you. But you see her changing too. Threads, strands of you, becoming pieces of something new. Something that's both you and her. Oh no, absolutely not. You have to stop this. Do you hear me? You have to stop this, or the entire world ends.
No, hold on. I like where she's going with this.
Well, he's gone.
But there's nothing left to stop anything. Your consciousness drifts towards hers.
Yes. Yes. See me as I have had to see you.
You do. You see a towering heart, wounded and alone. One that is familiar to you, if distant.
No, this isn't right. I feel cold.
And here come the hands. The tethers that started to form between you have snapped. Your union has been halted. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns. And no voices are with me at all. Silence as you approach. And no commentary about how it silenced the other voices either. You are nothing at all. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze, and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection.
I think you know what I am.
A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image of the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. Oh, the return of the weird parallax effect. I like this. Oh my god, there's so many questions!
So much.
The narrator, yes. I suppose that's
Oh, that's a
my job,
great...
isn't
Oh,
it?
look at that!
You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
Oh, I think I might have a limited amount of questions I can ask.
Yeah.
I'm aware, and if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time. Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
That's definitely...
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
Wow, there's so many options here. I love this,
I know.
actually. Like, this is the part that is working for me. This idea of, like, being confronted with a narrator figure and being like, you can ask this, like, demiurge or whatever, so many questions. But every time you ask it a question, you get more questions, and your ability to interact with it goes away more and more. I think it's neat. I like that.
Yeah, that's really good.
There was one...
Because
This
among
one.
other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed.
I mean, I'm not gonna do that in all likelihood. That's fine.
If you need to ask that question, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you cannot grasp the abject horror of dying. I didn't make her a princess, but I wove the idea of her into something your scattered mind could fathom. You chose for that something to be a princess.
I don't think I chose anything.
No.
I bought the video game on Steam for like $20. I was presented
Yeah.
with a princess.
We haven't made a lot of decisions here.
No.
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end.
I continue to think that I don't actually want to side with the narrator here, but I feel like I should be. Because there are so many questions, I am trying to grab the ones that are interesting to me in the off chance that I can't actually be convinced otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to keep the two of you trapped here until the job was done, and it was supposed to guide your hand to help you see things through. The construct you're in exists in every world at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both you and her into a new world. But you're waking up to your true nature now. It won't be able to work like that anymore. You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
And one more. Oh, that's it. You're out. Yeah, you're out of questions.
Yeah. I it's a classic, but I do love the distinction between two lines that are identical, but one of them is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be pithy.
So I am. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
As the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. The narrator was right. You are the long quiet, a vast and nascent god, and it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There's nothing for you to find.
Oop.
I can finally see you.
Oh, hey, the near
I
raids.
can finally see
Oh
you.
yeah!
It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
She unfurls an endless cascade of smiles in response, and then patiently waits for you to continue.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation? Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final piece lies with you.
See you later.
You fall into yourself. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here, except for her, is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled and bound in agonized tension to a finite plane. You can feel the glass of the construct pressing in on you, confining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it. But it does not yield.
I love you.
Aww.
All at once, the unyielding tension breaks. Oh fuck!
Ah!
It's a
You broke it.
it's like Gigas out there or some shit. You are free, and she is with you.
It's magnificent.
There are no words, no thoughts to describe absolute reality. Something that simply is.
Everything. Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
Oh, the animation!
Beautiful.
You and she step forward into 1,000 dawns and 1,000 sunsets, each of which contains 1,000 more. You exist, and you are aware, just as you always have been, just as you always will be. Though conflict is in your nature, the two of you will never be alone, and the two of you will never know fear. You and she are finally home.
The end.
Slay the princess. I gotta say,
Amazing,
for
that's
all
it.
these people who did all this work, the very small amount of people who did all that shit, the illustrations there especially, I really liked quite a lot, and the animation work. I think the game's style does really a lot for it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw special thanks to Shuhei Yoshida in there. How much of this game was written in Final Fantasy XIV?
Just days of brainstorming playing that game.
So much music. I wonder if that's just from this pristine cut version, or if that was made in the original version of the game as well.
I don't know.
Boons is a great name for a cat.
Agreed.
Special playlist just for you. I'm guessing this is the song, like the order of songs I encountered in the game or something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm betting.
Oh, that's
yeah.
fun. In-game UI version of the thing.
That's good.
Well, that was Slay the Princess.
Yeah.
That was an interesting time. I don't know if I'm going to actually go through and like explore the other stuff because I like my context and I'm happy with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Shia says we should check out the memory, so I guess we'll peek. But I will say I'm probably not gonna. Well, I'm probably not going to try and go hunting for other like possibility spaces or whatever. I like that. I think I'm not like I wasn't always sold on the writing, but I think the presentation is like the presentation's really good. It's a gorgeous game. I like the concept behind it a lot in terms of like having the CYOA that's like keeping a record of what you've done and like making a combined ending from that, right? Or like a reaction to the things that you chose to do across like the 4 routes. I think it's neat.
Yeah.
So what are these? Oh,
Oh, that's just the artwork. Okay.
Oh, and it's like so for all the scenes you've gotten to, it has like the CGs for the different versions of the scenes that you could have unlocked by having done this or that differently. Yeah, I agree, I agree, Marcia Jovian. This is like for a visual novel that isn't also that's made in Ren'Py, right? Like it's a Ren'Py game, and despite that, like it has a like insane amount of visual and sound and experience polished, like relative to its price point, you know. Like it's a really technically impressive game in a lot of ways. And it's also again like a gorgeous game as well. And I didn't even get all of these ones either. The ones of just like, oh, because these are I guess the second ones, right? And these are the, because these are the ones from the first thing. And look at that, like just by dint of like not having like being made a conscious effort to like not do a lot of the, you know, a lot of the certain like avoiding a certain kind of action. We only got like half of the CGs for the first chapter, despite having done it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And yeah, Shaya points out we've seen maybe 10% of the game there is to see. I like what I've seen of it so far, and I will say that if I made any decisions that you wouldn't have made, or like if you wanted to see someone like actually explore all of the dialogue choices and not be me who's like fine not picking at every little nit. The game's like 20 something, like $20 or $25 on Steam, I think, depending on whether it's on sale or not. If the VN Fest is still on, I think that might have ended today. Sadly, if that's still on, it's like $20. If not, it's 25. I don't know. It was a pretty fun experience.
Yeah, it was fun.
I think it will be more. I think there's more there if you are someone who really wants to completionist hunt. But for me, I'm happy with what I saw. So I don't know if maybe I'll return to it at some point, but it's not going to be like, I'm not going to be like going and fucking trying to rip every thread of meaning out of the experience or whatever, you know. That was fun.
Yeah.
So we'll quit the video game, and it will hang just a little bit as it closes. Yeah. I mean, that's basically all I had planned for tonight. It was about 3.5 hours, pretty good. So on Friday, we'll be back with Dread Delusion.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for coming too. On Friday, we'll be doing Dread Delusion at the same time at 7 p.m. Eastern. Ben, do we have anything we're doing over at the other channel in the interim? I guess not, because Sarah and Oates aren't here, right?
Nope, yeah, because they're going to be gone, so...
Yeah. Well, thank y'all for coming. Marcher Jovian, Bug, Shia. Other one dude I think was here earlier. Yeah, other one dude's here. We had a first-time chatter from Israel1751, who I believe came in during the scene where we were having our guts rearranged, which is, I think it's a great first introduction to that game.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you all so much for coming, and I'll hopefully see you all on Friday.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye.